Have you ever wondered if you are truly living up to your full potential? What if the key to making the biggest difference in your world is already within you, just waiting to be unleashed? Can you imagine the ripple effect that you could create if you knew exactly how to leverage your unique gifts to their fullest? If so, you're going to want to stick around. My name is Jake Talbert, and I'm the founder and author and chief giver over at the GIVER method. And today we're going to be diving into this topic that is really, really important to me. In fact, it's some of the core concepts around the book, The GIVER Method. And so it's how you can, anyone who wants to make a real difference in the world, how to deliver genuine value and create lasting impact using your unique gifts and superpowers. Now, before we dive in, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe to the channel, ring that bell for notifications, make sure you like the video, comment your thoughts along the way, share it after a while if you need to with somebody else. You can also find us at thegivermethod.com, on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, all those sorts of places. We don't want you to miss out on any of the content that's going to help you to unlock whatever your true potential is and help you become a true giver. Now, that term I keep using, giver, is a part of our book, The GIVER Method, that's going to be coming out here in about a month. And GIVER is an acronym where we help people to identify their gifts and superpowers. The I is for influence, so we can bring the right people to have influence on, make an impact intentionally with them. V is for value and how we deliver that without expecting anything in return. The E is about the engagements and interactions and discussions you have and how to make them effective and eager as possible. And that the outcomes are things like, number one, deeper, more meaningful relationships, which I call relationship riches. And you're able to step into who it is that you're meant to be and make a greater impact. I've also found that people who do this, they develop their gifts and superpowers and deliver them without expecting anything in return, that the universe has a way of paying you back. Now, it's not every single time, but I've been doing this long enough to see it happen time and time again to individuals. And so I want to invite you to experience that same thing. So I'm going to go through these different principles, ideas, things that you could be doing that are going to help you to uncover those gifts and superpowers and create that greater impact. As I do, I'm going to cover the topic and then I'll give you an action item. Each action item, I highly recommend you get out a piece of paper or open up a note and jot down your thoughts when I say it. Because it's not about just watching the video, it's about what you do after the fact, how you put those things into action and start moving them forward. That really matters. That's really going to make the difference for you. So as we do this, I want to just make sure that we go through those items of cover a topic and then an action item. So we're going to explore how you can apply the GIVER method to deliver value and make a lasting impact to those around you. Let's dive in. The first principle is all about identifying what your superpowers are. It's delivering value. Like, you have to understand what it is that you offer. You have to discover what you uniquely bring to the table for others to be impacted by. Your superpowers, like, they're the natural abilities that set you apart, the talents you've developed over time, the strengths that just come to you effortlessly, but may challenge others. Like, these are things that people often recognize in you, even though you may not recognize it in yourself. And identifying your superpowers requires a lot of self-reflection and feedback from others. You want to consider the things that make you just feel energized and fulfilled. Like, what are the tasks or activities that you just lose track of time on because you enjoy doing them so much? Think about what people come to you for advice on. These are likely areas where your gifts are the strongest. Like, I remember when I started to recognize my own superpower of remaining calm and collected during difficult circumstances, whether it was myself or if I was with other people, it could have been with work or whatever it was. It wasn't something that I thought was special, until I noticed how people often thank me for helping them to stay calm during these uncertain times. And so the action item here is going to be write down 3 things you believe might be your superpowers. Whatever you do, don't overthink it. Just trust whatever your instincts are, and that's going to be kind of our North Star as it pertains to using gifts and superpowers to start delivering value to others. Which leads us to our second principle, which is understanding value from others' perspectives. Once you truly identify what your superpowers are, you have to understand what value looks like to someone else. Value isn't what you think you bring, it's about understanding the needs and challenges of those around you. This is where empathy can play a very big role. Without taking the time to actually listen and observe, you may be offering something that's very well intentioned, but totally irrelevant to their current situation. So start by actively listening to people in your life. What are the problems, but like what problems are they trying to solve? What emotional or practical needs are they expressing, even if it's not directly? What's the underlying emotion or reason why it is that they're doing what they're doing or looking to improve where they're looking to improve? Like, this principle is about stepping outside of your perspective and viewing the world through theirs. And so the best way to deliver value is by understanding what truly makes a difference to someone in their life at that moment. I once offered detailed productivity advice to a friend thinking it was valuable, only to realize later that what they really needed was just someone to listen and offer emotional support. And so this taught me the importance of aligning my gifts with others' actual needs. So the action item here is going to be that this week, ask 3 people like what they feel they need help with, and really listen to their responses without immediately trying to solve whatever that problem might be. Which leads us to principle number 3, it's about tailoring your gifts to meet those needs. So once you know what the needs are, then you have to start to learn how you tailor those gifts to meet the needs in a way that's really meaningful and effective. This means that you have to adapt how you use your superpowers to fit the context of that situation, rather than applying them in kind of a one-size-fits-all manner. Tailoring your gifts requires creativity and thoughtfulness. It's about really customizing how you offer strengths that suit that person in their current situation. For instance, if your gift is organization, don't assume everyone wants a rigid structure. Like, someone might need flexibility and guidance in in a way that fits within their work or their lifestyle. So by understanding their preferences, you can apply your strengths in ways that are genuinely helpful. And so the action item here is going to be, choose one need that you've identified and brainstorm 3 unique ways that you could apply your superpower to address that need. Now, number 4 is going to be about just this idea of consistency, and consistency is key when it comes to creating impact and delivering value. Delivering value isn't it's not about the grand gestures, it's about showing up consistently and offering your strengths day in and day out. Over time, these regular acts of giving build trust and influence. People come to rely on you when they know that you show up with your gifts consistently. Like, think about how you can integrate, giving into just a daily routine, whether it's offering encouragement to others, sharing some knowledge you have, lending a hand, those consistent actions, they will accumulate into much more lasting change and impact. Small, thoughtful contributions can make enormous difference when they're applied regularly. Like, in my own journey, I've learned this as I've taken and started to identify other people's needs, and I went out into different communities, online communities, networking groups, and delivering value and just showing up. Even though, it adds extra stuff in my schedule, I have to move things around to make it work, I still show up every single time because I want to make sure that I can deliver value, I can make an impact on them every single week, because then, over time, people then do rely on you. They do look back to you. In fact, that's one of those ways that the universe starts to pay you back, is that people start to see you as that person to go to for it, and they start coming to you for it and start, asking you for that help, which oftentimes, whether it be personal or professionally, is going to lead towards, unexpected outcomes. And so the action item here is going to be, choose a way that you're going to consistently use your superpower this week to help others, and commit to it, whether it be daily, weekly, for a month. Just get that ball rolling. The 5th thing is about creating what I call vivid value. So delivering value, the goal is not just to be helpful, but to create this idea of vivid value. Impact and value that is so clear and memorable that it leaves a lasting impression. Vivid value, it goes beyond simply meeting their needs. It's about exceeding the expectations and adding a personal touch that really resonates long after that interaction is over. And so to create vivid value, you want to focus on how you can go that extra mile. What can you offer that, would be unexpected yet very thoughtful? And so it might involve offering a unique situation, providing emotional support, or adding a personal note that shows that you truly care about someone else's well-being. Like, I remember I was helping a friend out with their resume, and instead of just proofreading it, I really spent the time to understand what their career goals were, and helping them tailor that resume to really highlight experiences that aligned with what their goals were. Like, this is vivid value, and it not only helped them land interviews, but it gave them a lot of clarity, actually, with what their their career path could be. And so action item here is to think of one way that you can add extra value, that extra touch to make the value, like the value you're delivering, more vivid and more memorable. Our sixth principle is about creating lasting impact. And like, you don't do it alone, essentially. We have to build a strong network. Impact is amplified when we work together. So building a strong network of like-minded individuals allows you to extend your reach and deepen what your influence is. Your superpowers can achieve so much more when they're combined with the gifts of others. So really developing these networks means seeking out relationships that are rooted in shared values and mutual support as you. So whether it's finding mentors, collaborators, peers who challenge you or inspire you, these relationships help you to grow and deliver greater value to the people around you. When I first started the GIVER method, like, I made it a point to connect with others who were passionate about personal development and making a positive impact. In fact, I did interviews with them that became part of the book. And so these connections, they not only provided me support, but they also opened me up to new opportunities for me to share my message. And so the action item here is going to be identify 3 people or a group who aligns with your values and goals, and reach out to them and start building those relationships this month. Our 7th principle is, I've kind of hinted at it earlier, but it's the giving without expectation. This is one of the core principles of the GIVER method, is that we give without expecting anything in return. And when you give with no strings attached, like, we really do create authentic connections and deeper relationships. It will open doors, like, for all sorts of unexpected rewards that often just find their way back to you. Now, this doesn't mean that you're giving recklessly, but rather that you're just generously genuine in what you're doing. Your generosity and your giving, it's as genuine as possible. Whether it's giving of your time, your talents, resources, focus on how you can serve others, knowing that that ripple effect of your giving will eventually come back, often ways we didn't even anticipate or expect that they could. Like, I found that some of the most powerful, like, most impactful moments of giving came when I had no expectations of a return. And the joy of seeing someone benefit from my help was reward enough. And often it led to deeper relationships or really unforeseen opportunities. And so action item here is going to be find one opportunity to give of your time, your knowledge, that skill set, resource, whatever you have, without expecting anything in return. And then reflect on how it feels compared to giving when there might have been an expectation, when it was well, I did this for them, so I'm hoping they'll do that. Nope, just give for the sake of giving. And then our 8th principle is about measuring and reflecting on your impact. Like, while giving without any expectation is extremely important, it's also valuable to take the time to reflect on the impact that you're actually making. Like, this isn't about tallying wins or keeping a score. It's about understanding how your efforts are helping others and how you can continue to grow and improve in your giving. Like, reflection allows you to see the broader effects of your actions. Like, are you seeing the positive change that you set out to create? Are you growing yourself in the process? Reflecting on your impact is going to help you refine your approach and stay aligned with what your purpose is. Like, I make it a practice to just regularly reflect on my giving efforts. It's helped me identify which approaches are the most effective, which ones maybe aren't. It's guided me in how to refine how I use my superpowers so I can create a greater impact. So the action item here is to start a reflection journal, an impact journal, and each week write down one way that you've used your superpowers to help others and reflect on what the outcome would be. Now, as you do these 8 principles, clearly there are challenges that come up. And I want to address those common challenges you may face when you're trying to deliver value using your superpower. So one of them is that you might have this fear of not being good enough. And so what I say to that is just remember your superpowers are uniquely you and just trust in that value. Another one might be that you have difficulty identifying the needs of others. Cool. Practice that empathy. Practice that active listening to better understand people. You'll start to notice those things coming out. The third one is burnout from giving too much. So you have to set boundaries and practice self-care as you do. Like, you can't pour from an empty cup, so you have to constantly be refilling. Another one is, not seeing any immediate impact. This is the idea of going to people go to the gym, and after one workout, they're angry that they didn't lose the weight or they're not swole at that point. Like, cool, it's a process. It takes time, and sometimes the impact that you're trying to make isn't immediately visible. Another one is that just feeling overwhelmed by the needs of others. So I would say start small and focus on one person or one issue at a time. And then one more, just to kind of round that out, is that comparing your impact to others. Remember, your journey is unique. Your gifts and superpowers are unique. So focus on your own growth and the value that you're creating. And these challenges, they're completely normal for you to have. And the key to this approach is that you have to have patience and practice, self-compassion. Delivering value through your superpowers, I mentioned it earlier, it's not about the grand gestures or having all the answers. I certainly don't have all the answers when I'm trying to give my superpowers, but it's about consistently showing up and using your gifts to meet their needs and building those meaningful connections along the way. Start small. It's that easy. Try one of the action items that we've discussed, and each day look for opportunities to identify and use your superpowers to create values in others. Remember that the act of giving, no matter how small, has the potential to create massive ripple effect and positive change in your life and the life of those around you. And so this is how you apply the GIVER method and leveraging your superpowers, and you're not just making a difference in the individual's lives, you really are creating a culture of giving that can transform your sphere of influence in the lives around you to a greater community even. So if you're ready to dive deeper into this understanding your superpowers and how to deliver value, then I encourage you to go to thegivermethod.com, sign up for our newsletter list. We send exclusive tips and insights on leveraging your uniqueness and impact. You can also check out the services we offer. You can see how we can be on someone's podcast, come speak on stage. Also, the GIVER Method book is going to be coming out in about a month. And so get yourself onto the notification list by going to the book tab that's at the top and getting on that list so that you can receive updates of the books coming out, how to get access, things along those lines. And hey, if this video resonated with you, give it a thumbs up. Please share it with someone else who might need the reminder of what their own superpowers are. Let's work on spreading the power of giving and create a world where everyone is empowered to make a difference. Until next time, please keep growing, keep giving, and remember, your superpowers are the key to creating lasting impact. Please use them wisely, believe in yourself, and believe in the ability that you have to make a greater impact. I believe in you. The universe is waiting for you to step into who it is that you are meant to be. So until next time, have a great rest of your day.